Hello, welcome back to my series, Fit Before 50. This is episode 6, Why Food Swapping. So if you've watched my series from the beginning, thank you. And you've noticed that I've talked a lot about exercise, but you can't really talk about getting in shape without talking about food. So if you're interested to hear about my story and the positive and negative things that I did, and learn from my mistakes, keep on watching. Okay, so when I made the decision that I want to get in shape a few years ago, I was very stubborn. I basically joined a program in May of 2017 and was like, look, I'm going to be here, but I'm not giving up A, B, and C. And they were like, okay, if that's what you want, fine. Um, and the program I joined, they do a before picture and they take measurements. And we usually did it every 6 months. Now, some of you are like, I don't want a before picture. I'm so glad I did. You want to have a reference point because you will see success and you want to go back and be like, wow, I can't believe how much my body has changed. So definitely do those things. Anyway, so it was May 2017. Here I am doing all the exercise. I was doing more of the HIIT exercise that I talked about in my earlier series. Still doing yoga, things like that. And 6 months goes by and I'm like, okay, well, let's do another check-in and we'll do measurements and photo. And we did the measurements and I was like, even though I was exercising a lot, I really wasn't making gains as far as I wanted to lose weight. And the pounds, they weren't moving. Yes, I did trim an inch or two off my neck, maybe my arms, my thighs, and my waist, but I wasn't losing the weight. And I'm like, what is going on? So I had to have a come to Jesus with myself and also my trainer. And we came up with a program where he was able to look at the amount of calories I was burning every day. And then we could figure out the best what the best kind of calorie intake I should be doing in order to lose a certain amount of weight, let's say a month. And he also said I had to start writing everything down and keeping track of my food, which, I did not want to do. Believe me, it's not something you really want to do. But if you don't know what you're putting in and how many calories everything is, it's just like you're swapping calorie for calorie. You're not making any change, any improvement. And I was very frustrated with myself. So I had to make those decisions to be more serious about what I was putting in my body and what kind of calories I was putting in my system. So this is where the food swapping comes into play, because some of my bad habits that I wound up giving up, which really revolve around me having a cocktail. And I was, it was summertime. I was doing like wine, microbrew beer, and then you throw in like a whiskey or rum or maybe a frozen drink like a margarita. Yeah, I sound like a lush, but I do like to have a cocktail here and there. I was still doing all those things, high in sugar, high in just fat. Took all of that out. And around that time, those seltzers were kind of popular. They're like hard seltzers, so they still had a percentage of alcohol in them, and they had like 100 calories. I'm like, oh, well, this is fine. I can just do that. So that's what I did. And I still do that to this day. If I'm going to have a cocktail, it's going to be on the low calorie side of things. And I love those. And you can kick it up a notch, I guess, if you want. Just stay in the clear liquor like gin and vodka. Those are going to be the lower calorie drinks. So if you're someone that likes a cocktail, that's some food swapping idea. But if you're really wanting to lose weight, you really shouldn't drink at all. Take that out completely. But like I said, I was stubborn, so I needed to still have a little bit of that adult beverage every once in a while. Anyway, moving on to food. So if you're someone that likes to snack, you want to look at the snacks and see what kind of snacks are good for you and what are not good for you. And so if I'm more of a salty snack kind of person, so I was wanting something to take the place of maybe a potato chip. And I came across Hippies, which are basically chickpeas that are like puffed dried chickpeas, but they're flavored with cheese. They look like a Cheeto. Oh my God, they're the best. I was having those if I wanted something crunchy and salty. And that worked fine. Didn't feel like I was depriving myself at all. And then I needed something for the sweet side of things. So I wasn't doing ice cream at all. I took that completely out. I wasn't doing cookies. I wasn't doing cake. None of that. I took all that out. But at the end of the day, I still wanted to have something. So I found dark chocolate alternatives. And I don't like dark chocolate. Like, I have to force myself to eat it. But milk chocolate's too fattening. So Bark Thins was a really good option. Brookside has those chocolate covered fruits. So I had those to look towards. And obviously with the food swapping, you're still looking at healthier intake as far as getting more protein in there, doing more. You want to have a balance. You still got to have your good carbs. You still got to have good fats. You can't, it's a really fine game of balance. You can't take everything out. You got to have that energy so when you're exercising, you're not depleting yourself and you're not like dying. So carbs are very important for that, especially if you're doing HIIT type work. You got to have that energy up there. Drinking lots of water makes a big difference. If you have a hunger pain, go right to water first and then see if you're still hungry. It's still a good trick. So those food swapping ideas really worked for me. And once I started watching how much calorie I was putting in, it was great. I was starting to see results. And you want to make sure you see results outside of the scale. Try not to weigh yourself every day either. You want to lose weight slowly, like I say, like 2 pounds a week. And I did not lose weight fast. Like, I think my metabolism shut itself off. Thanks, middle age. I don't know. It's still not, it's better. But man, I just felt like it was dead. So you don't want to weigh yourself every day. But over time, I started seeing results. And I think from October 2017 to October 2018 is when I lost the most weight. And then after that, I just maintained, lost some more, and I've just been trying to be toned. Now, I'm not super skinny. I still have areas to work on. I carry all my weight around my waistline. It drives me crazy. But I have lost like 10 inches around my waist, which is huge over a period of time, mind you. And I find myself buying smaller clothes, or I could shop in my closet. And those are the kind of successes that motivate you to want to keep going. You know, no one's going to come in your house and hit that cake out of your hand. Don't buy the cake. Don't buy the cookie. Don't get the shit that you know you're going to want to eat when you shouldn't. You still have to have a good cheat day here and there. I'm not saying you can't, but just get back on track. Get back on the train and make sure you surround yourself with people that are going to help you out and keep you motivated. That's really important too. So I hope you find these tips useful, and I look forward to seeing your gains or losses, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.